Ladies and gentlemen, Screamin Vader, and last I left off, I actually skipped a step, and he was basically in two pieces, and I got all the wires fished through, and I added some fiber optics to him, and if you can see there on his belt, he's a little bright on one side, he's a little dull on the other, which that's the way I like to do things. I don't like them just Christmas tree, everything lit. Lightsaber works, so we'll try to work on his hilt this week. Uh, but anyway, I was actually at the point where I needed to assemble him, and what I do on vinyl kits is once I get them ready to be sealed up, I fill them with expanding foam. You can get that hardware store, Walmart, wherever you need to get it. Spray it in, fill it up, and it'll expand. It'll make it very solid, rigid. That way it keeps the weight down. You don't have to actually fill it with plaster or a resin if you want. I just think it makes it solid. And then when you display them or display a vinyl kit with the expanding foam inside, it won't warp or anything. I have found out that's the best for vinyl kits, so that's what I use, and that's what I did, and had to let that sit and cure for a couple days. But I did get him assembled, and the fiber optics. I know some people's like, why did you? How come you ain't cut them yet? What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them, and then once I get him painted, I'll go back in and I'll just snip these off, and it's already masked for you because you're just seeing the very tips of them anyway. But anyway, that's one little thing. Vinyl kits are a treat, but they do have their setbacks, and he would not sit flush with his torso to his bottom part of his body. As you can see, hopefully right there, a little bit of epoxy sculpt. Again, I couldn't get him flush. Taking a heat gun, trying to get him malleable to get him to fit. He still wouldn't do it. So what I did is took epoxy sculpt. I got one more round to go, and I just filled it in, this little gap, and blended the tunic to the belt. So once you get him painted, he'll be just that much a little taller. But anyway, that's about the only really drawback with vinyl kits is they're just they fit real good, and then some they fit almost okay, and that's where he falls in. But anyway, Vader's is taking shape. So once I got him assembled, what I did is I drilled a hole in him, and I took a brass rod and I ran it all the way up, basically about to there. That gives him extra support, plus the foam will hit around it, and I fished the wires through the pole. Oh man, I forgot to take my battery off here. You can see the pole there, and this will make a stand for, we're going to do a little plaque base here, so he'll be able to stand on it like so, and he'll have a peg hole, so he'll be able to stand on it, and if it needs to be glued to the base whenever it gets to the final destination, it can be. So anyway, that's where I am on Big Vader, and while I'm doing that, I'm slowly cutting out his helmet, which I got most of the bigger parts, and now I'm down to the point, man, I got a lot of lens flares. I'm going to have to buy me one of them hood things and put on the lens. But anyway, we'll have to cut that off, and getting it trimmed, and I almost got it all done. So anyway, and I don't know what is driving my nose to itch. I think it's the cat. But anyway, Vader is taking shape. The EM50, last I left off on that, I got it all primered up, and I'm glad I did, because there's some spots on here I couldn't see, and that was on the top. I got it sanded down, so I believe I got all that sanded. I got a little more I just got a little more knock off on the armor on the side there just to get it, and I'll be good to go on that. But anyway, I think it looks pretty darn slick. Got everything masked off, and my next step is I'm going to mask off. Man, I don't like the lens. That lens flare thing is just, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Anyway, the I think it was light. Probably still is. But anyway, my next thing is I'm going to mask off the armor plates. I'm going to leave the gray, and then we're going to do the color of the EM50, which is 1976 GMC colors, which the green I'm pretty sure is a Sherwood green. I'm just a color variation of it. I'm pretty close. I actually have Sherwood green in acrylic, which is too light. It needs to be a little more darker, so I'm going to go and mix this with a little other Leo green to get that shade of green. But the top color I am pretty sure is we're going to go with JA green from Tamaya. It's pretty close to the top. You may not be able to see it in the bottle, but I think that'll work out fine for the top part. But anyway, so we're trying to I got to mix some paint up this weekend, and hopefully we can start masking and painting and getting the colors on the EM50. And one more thing, and that's the Gundam for the hobby store train layout. So what it's basically going to do, I got him all assembled, and again, he's a high grade. Let me just get Mr. Box here. Oh. He's a high grade. I'm a big fan of the high grade kits because they're simple, they're basic. You know, once you get them together, then it all comes down to painting, weathering, and all that good stuff. You can turn a cheap kit into a work of art. So he's basically going to lay on here like that. What I got to do is, if you notice the rail car's got the little slots, I'm actually going to put the little brackets to go in that holds like lumber or whatever, pipe and anything. I'm going to put like 4 of them in here, 2 on the inside the arms and probably 2 on the legs. That way, so when he choo-choo's pulling him, he don't go around the corner and go falls off. But anyway, that's what we're going to do on that. So hopefully, I'm going to try to do that this weekend. If not, I'm going to try to do it this week. At least get that on. Then we start weathering and painting, as I'm going to repaint the car. And then he's going to be hauling a little weapons car. And we're going to repaint this, get rid of all the anything. But I'm going to leave his weapons loose in there. And of course, I'm going to weather him, basically his gun and his shield. So that'll be behind the rail car with the actual Gundam on it. And then I want to make him loose and everything, because if he does not fit through the tunnel and it just does not work, at least we can take him off and put him on the train layout inconspicuous somewhere in the because it's pretty big. And I'll do a video on that, because I need to do a video on the train, and I got to do a video on the ceiling tile dioramas, especially the ship one that I just added. But anyway, that's what I got going on today. We are trying to work on a little bit of a Gundam Railroad. The EM50 is just about ready to get some paint, and we are continuing on with the Screamin' Vader. So that's what we got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.